Hi, everybody. Welcome to Christian Homestead. My name is Jared. There's another one of these articles with these pictures of a large group of people getting baptized on the same day. And this keeps happening. And so it's there have been so many that I've decided to put together a spreadsheet and try and figure out, is this out of the ordinary? How far back can I go? But over the last couple of years, just every now and again, like it feels like every couple months, there's a new article published in church news that shows scenes like this. This one came out January 21st. It says, member missionary work results in 184 baptized in 2 stakes in Democratic Republic of the Congo across 2 weekends. So it looks like there were 2 main events. One was on the 27th of December in Kasumbalesa, where 87 were baptized. And here's another picture. And then later on, it talks about a larger event in Moene Ditu on December 20th, where 97 were baptized. Okay, so this is what I've been seeing. Look at this. Here's the oldest one I could find. May 15th, 2023 is the date of the article. God truly sees and blesses all of his children. More than 100 people baptized in remote Nigerian city. We got this one published July 27th of 2023. 2 days in a month, 2 cities in Nigeria result in 110 people baptized. And then we got this one. This looks like a scene out of the Book of Mormon right here. This was June 25th, 2025, when the article was published. Waters of baptism, walls of stone, 107 baptisms, and a temple-focused people in Papua New Guinea. We got this one. This was published August 10th, 2025. 129 baptized during the same weekend as the creation of Papua New Guinea's 4th stake in 14 months. That is a lot. And then this one, this is the second most recent article, published on September 7th, 2025. A sacred site, 120 begin their covenant path on same day in Sierra Leone. So you can see it's happening in all these different countries. And it makes me think that something is going on. Remember, I should have pulled this up. Here we go. 3 Nephi chapter 7, verse 26. I've pointed this out a number of times. A lot of people like to look at 3 Nephi as a type of timeline that foreshadows our own time and the events that are going to lead up to the second coming. And the last thing that is noted before the destruction comes is this. And there were many in the commencement of this year that were baptized unto repentance, and thus the more part of the year did pass away. And that's it. That's the final thing that they documented before you move on to chapter 8, where it introduces the destruction that came to the land and changed everything. And then after that, Christ came. So are we in that period of time right now? I don't know. I tried to research this the best I could to see if I could find any other articles, no matter how far back. You can do special searches on Google where you search specific sites. And so I searched church news for phrases like people baptized in one day, same weekend. I also just did a search on the church news website itself. Went really, really far back and nothing. So either this is nothing out of the ordinary and just nobody has been writing articles about it, which I doubt, or there's something going on. And I think something is going on because we've heard from Elder Cook, for example, that in 2025, we saw the largest number of convert baptisms in a 12-month period in church history. Like, missionary work is expanding. We're breaking new records. This year, there's going to be 55 new missions that are created in July. So I went ahead and I put everything on a new spreadsheet. I'm calling it Timeline, Missionary Work, Large Baptisms. And this is all that I was able to find. I already did a quick run through with you with those articles, but 100 in Nigeria, April 10th, 2023, 110 in Nigeria, the 24th of June, 2023, 107 in Papua New Guinea on June 14th, 2025, 129 on August 2nd, Sierra Leone, 120, August 23rd, and then we have these two events in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, 97 for one, 87 for the other. And so I would ask you, please be on the lookout for these articles because this is something I'm going to try and track. It's not going to be perfect. I'm sure that these type of things have happened before, but just within this short period of time, I think you can say that something is going on. I don't think that Church News just suddenly decided, you know what, we should start doing these stories. We should start covering this better. I guess that could have happened, but I feel like Church News has always covered things like this. These are notable stories because they produce these like really eyebrow raising scenes where you have all these people dressed in white. It looks biblical. It looks like something from the scriptures. Now, before we continue, just really quick, I want to remind you that we're doing another round of sharing the Book of Mormon and trying to share a total of 10,000. We did this before with the Flood the Earth challenge, but I ran out of steam. It was a lot of work, but we got to 10,160. It resulted in 53 baptisms and one report of somebody going to the temple, receiving their endowments, and getting sealed. So we want to try and do this again. The last time I updated this was on the 20th. Just like last time, I realized I need to show this in more videos because when I don't show it, people forget about it. And so please try and share at least 10. That's the individual goal. And then let me know in the comments section. Don't send me emails or anything else. Just put it in the comment section of any YouTube video. It doesn't matter which one, no matter how far back. I do a search for hashtag BOM. So just do hashtag BOM and then how many copies of the Book of Mormon you shared. If they end up meeting with the missionaries, do hashtag missionaries. If they get baptized, do hashtag baptism and so forth. And then I will confirm with you that I saw your message. And then I keep track of how many you've shared over here to the left. Okay. So looking at this spreadsheet, all of these are African nations with the exception of Papua New Guinea. We have noted that Africa seems to just really be coming online right now. Let's go to my spreadsheet called Timeline Temples. And I wanted to see how many temples Europe had compared to Africa by the year 2010. And let's just count this up. I already forgot the number. I think it was 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So by the end of 2010, Europe had 9. And at that point, Africa only had 3. This is basically what it was like when I went on my mission. But now if we look at this temple map on the church website, it's pretty even. I don't know the number. I'm not going to count it up, but it's been pretty dramatic since that time. Every one of these dots represents a temple that's in operation, under construction, or announced. And Europe and Africa are pretty much the same. So something is definitely happening in Africa. And I feel like I've seen this outside of our church too. I've read articles, for example, about the Catholic Church and how, Europe is becoming more secular. That's been the bastion of the Catholic faith is Europe, but things are changing. And now Africa is becoming much more important. And again, I don't know why that is. I do tend to think that it has something to do with the hastening of the work and the way that the Lord has rolled out the gospel and it's spreading across the earth. This is a screenshot of a video on my other channel called Explore Church Sites, I was allowed to film inside the Church of Christ Temple Lot headquarters building. It's their little white chapel that's at the Temple Lot. And this is the council room for their 12 apostles. And they have a world map over here to the left. And then they have this one of Africa. And when you look at the other side of the room, there aren't any other picture or any other maps of any other continents. Is it going to do it? There we go. So just a world map and then Africa. So that must mean that Africa is important for them. This is another splinter group. It's called Remnant Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They're a break off from Community of Christ. This is their temple space. They call it the sanctuary. It's in like an old high school, which is their headquarters building. It's across the street from the Community of Christ Temple on the north side of Lexington. And I've spoken to their prophet president, Terry W. Patience. This is actually him right here. And in that conversation, we did talk about, the distribution of church members in their church. And he talked about the fact that the church is growing in Africa. So something is going on over there, but it's really great to see these kind of scenes that, again, it looks like something from out of the Bible. There are a few other articles I should mention. This is Church News. January 17th, 2004, best day of my life. Members exult over temple. And at this part, it's talking about Ghana. And this happened December 9th, 1978. Keep in mind, that's the year that the priesthood ban was lifted. And I think that's why this happened. It says one of the first members baptized was Priscilla Sampson Davis, among 89 people baptized December 12th of that year. So I'm not including this one because I want to compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. I'm interested in events like this where there's a large number that just suddenly gets baptized. It's pretty clear that in this case, in Ghana, who knows how much time went by and when these people would have gotten baptized. It wasn't like a spontaneous thing. It happened because people were being converted to the church in their hearts, and then the priesthood ban is lifted, and then they all get baptized. So it's not quite the same thing. So I'm not going to put that on my spreadsheet, but it is worth noting. And then we have this. Let's see. This was published July 6, 2022. It says, shortly after the COVID-19 pandemic began in 2020, the government of Mozambique implemented rules prohibiting baptisms and other religious ordinances. The number of people waiting to be baptized grew over the past 2 years. On April 20th, the president of Mozambique announced the restrictions would be eased and baptisms could take place again. Some 900 people were baptized members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Mozambique in the 2 months since restrictions were lifted, according to the church's Africa newsroom. So this was another notable event, and that must have been pretty intense to participate in that and witness it. But it's similar to what happened in Ghana. It's not that, like, all of a sudden, spontaneously, a bunch of people decided to get baptized at the same time. It's just that they couldn't get baptized for a certain period of time. And when that restriction was lifted, then they could all go. But that is still pretty interesting to note. 900 people. We have this interesting insight. So this has to do with the African country of Angola. That's actually where my mom was born. It used to be a Portuguese colony. After there was a revolution, she went back to Portugal, and that's where she met my dad when he was on his mission. But anyway, Angola in Africa, it says, besides the work of the full-time teaching missionaries, the church is growing quickly through the efforts of individual members. President Sykes explained that members who move to a new city without a ward or a branch will worship in their homes and invite their neighbors. Soon, 20 people may be meeting together. Then the missionaries will be sent to that city, and they baptize the group. Wow. So this might be why this is happening in Africa. Maybe this is just a cultural thing. Again, I do think that it's the spirit that's inspiring it, and that's why we're having more and more, but maybe this is like the mechanism. Anyway, after 6 months, even more people are meeting together. Soon, a new branch is formed in that city. Quote, the members have brought 50, 60, 70 people to their house. The whole concept of love, share, invite is in their DNA. It's just amazing how they are thrilled to spread the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, President Sykes said. So I don't know. I can't picture that happening here in the United States or in Europe. But that's pretty amazing. And then lastly, I came across this article. Refugee walks 728 miles to be baptized after reading Book of Mormon. So you guys, sharing the Book of Mormon is no joke. It really does have the power to convert somebody. So please share the Book of Mormon. You never know how that person is going to receive it. They may just walk 728 miles to get baptized. So here he is with his family. It says Amos Makulu Center poses with his family in their new hometown of Buffalo, New York in 2024. Makulu has been instrumental in inviting people to learn more about the restored gospel of Jesus Christ. And later on, I just wanted to read a little bit about what happened. Through the use of letters, Makulu and his family got in touch with the Kenya Nairobi mission and spoke with missionaries. According to Makulu, they learned many things about the gospel, quote unquote, over the next 6 years and wanted to be baptized and join the church. However, the closest congregation to their location was in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, roughly 1,171 kilometers or 728 miles away. Makulu was undaunted by this distance. After he was unable to secure plane tickets, Makulu and two of his family members decided to walk across the country from Lugufu to Dar es Salaam. And then it has a map so you can just picture what that would be like. He walked from one side of the country from this side of the country to this side of the country. That is stunning. So, I think because we see a trend here, I think we're going to see more of this. Again, please send me the article. Like if a new article comes out, please send it my way. Send me an email and I'll keep adding to this spreadsheet. But this is pretty amazing. Whatever's going on, I know that the Lord's hand is in it and we should pay attention. Again, in 3rd Nephi, it's the last thing that was noted before the destruction came. So maybe this is a parallel. Okay, that's going to be it for this one. I'll talk to you guys later.